lot of people like to work out, and hopefully you realize the more you work out, the longer you work out, the more calories you're going to burn. In mathematics, we would say that the calories burnt is a function of time. So let's take a look at how functions are going to work. There are a lot of vocabulary terms in this lesson, so let me give you a moment to go ahead and look through those. All right, we're going to start with a set is a collection of items called elements, and a relation relates each element in a set called the domain, with any element in a second set called the range. So here's an easy way, once again, to remember which is which. The first set is domain, second set is range. Alphabetically, domain would come before range. A function can be described using function notation. The function f assigns the output value f of x, read as f of x, to correspond input value x from the domain. You can also use different letters than f if you have more than one function. Now I'm going to admit that this whole statement is a little bit odd since we really haven't learned what a function is, but it will make more sense as we go along. But here's one very, very, very important thing is f of x should not be confused with f times x. I see so many students doing that. The letter f is not a variable. It does not mean the same thing. So for this example here, f of x equals x squared means that f of 3 would equal 9 because 3 squared equals 9. It's really just substitution. The 3 is just going to replace the x in the statement. Functions are often used to describe the relationship between two variables. The independent variable, which is usually the x, and the domain represents the input value of the function, and the dependent variable, usually the y variable, represents an output value, also known as the range. An algebraic expression that defines a function is a function rule. For example, x squared is the function rule for the squaring function f of x equals x squared. If you know a value for the independent variable, you can use a function rule to write the corresponding value for the dependent variable. So we just went through a ton of vocabulary here, and really none of this is going to make sense until we look at some examples. So let's dive right in. So for our first example, it says the domain x values of the function can be written using set notation. So we saw set notation in the last unit where we use those fancy brackets. We're going to write the range, or the output values, for f of x equals x squared. Really, all we're doing is this is just a substitution problem, and you've seen substitution problems before. So what this problem is saying is let x equal all the values above. So we're going to start by letting x equal -3. So -3 squared would be -3 times -3, which is +9. Okay. Then we do -1 times -1, which is 1. 0 times 0 is 0. 2 times 2 is 4. 3 times 3 is 9. And 5 times 5 is 25. So there's all of our values. All right. I'm going to erase this part because that was just to show you how we're just substituting. I'm also going to point something else out, that in set notation, you should never have duplicates. And I've got 2 9s here, so you should never write the same number twice. I'm going to rewrite this, and I'm also going to write it in order. While it's not 100% incorrect if you don't write them in order, it is better if you do. So the smallest is 0, then we've got 1, 4, only 1 9, and 25. So just remember, when you're writing your sets, you should not duplicate any numbers, and it is preferred if you write them in order. So this would be my correct range right here. Question B asks, write in words how to read the statement f of 4 equals 16 and what does it mean? All right, there it is in words. Just a reminder that that does not mean f times 4, it means f of 4. The function of 4 equals 16. And what does it mean? It means for an input of 4, this function produces an output of 16. So it might be our squaring function, x squared, because that would make sense. It might also just be 4 plus 12. We have no idea what this function is. We just know if we put a 4 into it, we're going to get out a 16. Example C here is just a common example. For f of x equals x squared, find f of negative 8. What that really means is to let x equal negative 8. So we're going to just substitute that into here. So f of negative 8 is going to equal negative 8 squared, which equals positive 64. All right, for D, I just wanted to be clear that we're not using the set that we had before, so that's all that means. But I want to know, what is the domain and range for f of x equals x squared? And here's how we write this. The domain, basically we're asking what numbers can I substitute and still get a valid answer. The domain here, I can put in any number I want to. There's no number that's off limits. For example, the only time that something's off limits is if I end up with like a square root of a negative number. That's never good. Or if I end up dividing by 0. You can never ever divide by 0. And I'm not going to have either of those things happen here. So my domain is going to be all real numbers. All right, next let's think about what our range is going to be. So if we notice, our range is never going to be a negative value. There's no way I can get a negative. Now I can get 0. 0 is possible, we see it here, but we can see if I substitute a negative number, a negative times a negative will always give me a positive. So I'm going to write my range in as an inequality. Also remember that range are y values. So the range is the output. So I want all my values to be greater than or equal to 0. That would be my range. That shows me that y can never be negative.